The Voice on the Line. Part 1. The Call. The phone rang at 2 a.m. Michael Henderson had always been a light sleeper, a trait that had served him well during his years as an emergency room physician and poorly in every other aspect of his life. The shrill tone cut through the darkness of his bedroom like a scalpel, and he was reaching for it before the second ring, his heart already accelerating with the learned response of someone who knows that calls at this hour bring nothing good. "Hello?" His voice was rough, scratchy, with interrupted sleep. "Daddy?" The voice was small, frightened, barely above a whisper. "Daddy, please, I need help." Michael sat bolt upright, suddenly and completely awake. "Emma, what's wrong? Where are you?" I don't know exactly. I'm scared. There's someone." Her voice broke off into a sob. "Please come get me. I'm so scared." Every protective instinct in Michael's body ignited at once. He was already out of bed, switching on the lamp, looking for his pants. "Emma, baby, calm down. Tell me what happened. Where are you?" "I'm in a house. I don't know whose house. We were at a party and something went wrong. Everyone left and I woke up here and I don't know where here is and—" Her words tumbled over each other, panic rising with each syllable. Michael's mind raced through worst-case scenarios, each more terrible than the last. His 17-year-old daughter, his little girl, alone and frightened in a strange house. He forced his voice to remain calm, the same tone he'd used with countless terrified patients over the years. "Okay, sweetheart, I need you to take a deep breath. Can you look outside? Can you see any street signs, any landmarks?" He heard her moving, the creak of floorboards, the sound of curtains being pulled aside. "It's really dark. There are trees everywhere. I think we're in the woods or something. This isn't the city, Dad." "I can't see any lights from other houses." Michael pulled on his jeans with one hand, phone pressed against his ear. "What's the last thing you remember?" "I was at Melissa's party. Just a regular party. I had maybe one drink, just one beer, I swear. But then everything got fuzzy, and when I woke up, I was on a couch in this house, and everyone was gone, and all the lights were off, and—" Her voice rose again toward hysteria. "Emma, listen to me. Does your phone show your location? Can you check?" "It says, oh God, Dad, it says, location services disabled. I don't remember turning that off." A cold finger of unease traced down Michael's spine. "Emma, I need you to turn it on right now. Can you do that?" "I'm trying, but it won't. It keeps saying there's an error. Dad, I'm really scared. What if whoever brought me here comes back?" Michael was fully dressed now, grabbing his keys from the dresser, his wallet. "I'm coming to get you right now. Have you tried calling 911? "No, I called you first. Should I hang up and call them?" "No." The word came out sharper than he intended. "No, stay on the line with me. But try to enable location services, or try to find some piece of mail, something with an address on it. And Emma," he paused at his bedroom door, "is there somewhere safe you can hide, just in case?" He heard her breathing, quick and shallow. "There's a closet in this room. It has a lock on the inside." "Good. Lock yourself in there. Stay on the line with me. I'm in my car now." Michael took the stairs 2 at a time, his mind already planning routes, calculating distances. But distances to where? He lived in Seattle. Emma was supposed to be at a friend's house in their neighborhood, just 3 miles away. How far could she have gotten? His hand was on the front door when he heard her scream. "Emma! Emma! There's someone here. I can hear them downstairs. Oh God, Dad, someone's in the house." Michael's blood turned to ice. Hide right now. "Don't make a sound." He heard scrambling, the sound of a door closing, the click of a lock. Then breathing, rapid and panicked, but quieter now. "I'm in the closet," she whispered. "I can hear footsteps. They're coming up the stairs." Michael was in his car now, backing out of the driveway with no destination. "Stay quiet, baby. Stay very quiet. Can you describe anything about the house? Anything at all?" "It's old. The wood creaks. There are pictures on the walls, but I couldn't see them clearly. It smells like pine trees and old smoke, like a cabin." A cabin in the woods. It could be anywhere within a 100-mile radius. The Cascade Mountains were full of such places. "The footsteps stopped," Emma whispered, so quietly he had to press the phone hard against his ear. "I think they're right outside the door." Michael's hands gripped the steering wheel so hard his knuckles went white. He was driving with no direction, helpless, useless. Every cell in his body screamed to protect his daughter, and he couldn't do anything. Then he heard it. A voice, muffled through the phone, speaking on the other side of the door where Emma hid. "Emma? Emma, sweetheart, where did you go?" Michael's world tilted sideways. He knew that voice. It was his wife's voice, Catherine, who had died 3 years ago in a car accident. Part 2, Fractures. Michael pulled over on the side of the empty street, his entire body shaking. That couldn't be right. He couldn't have heard what he thought he'd heard. "Dad?" Emma's whisper was nearly inaudible. "That voice, that sounded like—" "I know." His own voice didn't sound like his own. "Emma, I need you to think very carefully. Have you taken anything? Any drugs? Anything someone might have given you?" "No, I told you. I just had 1 beer and then everything got weird."
"Why would you? Dad, you heard it too, didn't you? That was Mom's voice." The rational part of Michael's brain, the part that had been trained in medicine and science, searched for explanations. Auditory hallucinations, a stress response causing shared psychosis, some kind of prank, a recording maybe. But none of those explained the visceral terror in his daughter's voice, the absolute certainty in his own ears. "Emma, listen to me very carefully. I need you to look at your phone. What's my number showing as on your screen?" A pause. "What? It's your cell number. Why?" "Read it to me." She recited the number. It was correct. "Now I need you to open your contacts and look at my name. Is there a photo?" "Dad, this is crazy. Why are you—" "Just do it, please." He heard her moving, the sound of fingers on a screen. Then silence. "Emma?" "Dad, there's no photo, but there should be. I have photos for all my contacts. And—" Her voice changed, became smaller. "Dad, this is weird. Your contact name is just Father. I would never write it like that. I always have you as Dad with heart emojis." Michael's medical training had taught him to look for the simplest explanation, but his instincts were screaming that something was profoundly wrong. "The voice stopped," Emma whispered. "I don't hear anything now." "Stay where you are. I'm going to call someone who might be able to help trace your phone." "Don't hang up." The panic was back, sharp and raw. "I won't. I'm going to use my car's Bluetooth to make another call. You'll be able to hear everything. Just stay quiet." He dialed David Chen, a colleague who'd left emergency medicine for work with the police department. The phone rang 4 times before a groggy voice answered. "This better be life or death, Henderson." "It is. Dave, I need your help. Emma called me. She's trapped in a house somewhere. Someone's with her, and I can't locate her phone."
There was a pause, and Michael could hear Dave waking up fully, shifting into professional mode. "Okay, give me your number. I'll call you right back." The line went dead. Michael waited, counting seconds, each one an eternity.
"Dad, I'm really scared."
"I know, baby, I know. Help is coming." But even as he said it, doubt crept in. Help to go where? The more he thought about it, the less sense the situation made. If Emma was really in danger, why hadn't she called 911? Why had she called him first? And that voice, Catherine's voice. His phone rang. Dave. "Michael, I'm not getting anything. The number Emma's calling from doesn't exist in any system I can access." "What do you mean it doesn't exist?" "I mean it's not registered to any carrier. It's like a ghost number.
Is this some kind of joke? Do I sound like I'm joking? My daughter is in danger. Your daughter? Dave's voice changed. Michael, Emma is your daughter, right? She's 17? Of course she is. What kind of question is that? Another pause, longer this time. Michael, when was the last time you actually saw Emma in person? The question hit him like a physical blow. He opened his mouth to answer and found he couldn't. When had he last seen her? She had been staying with her friend Melissa? Or had she been at her grandmother's? No, that was last month. Or was it? I see her all the time, he said, but his voice lacked conviction. Michael, listen to me carefully. I think you need to come to my place, right now. We need to talk. I can't. My daughter needs me. Michael, Dave's voice was gentle now, the tone one uses with the mentally unstable. I'm worried about you. After Catherine died, you went through a rough patch, and I just think, fuck you, Dave. Fuck you and your psychology degree. My daughter is in trouble. He ended the call, breathing hard. Dad? Emma's voice was small again. Why did he sound like that? Like he didn't believe you? I don't know, sweetheart, but we're going to figure this out. Then another voice came through the phone, clearer now, as if whatever door had separated them had opened. Michael, is that you? Catherine's voice again, not muffled this time, clear as day. Who is this? Michael demanded. It's me. It's your wife. Michael, why did you do this? Why did you bring her here? Part 3, Unraveling. Michael sat in his parked car, gripping the phone, feeling reality slip through his fingers like water. This had to be a nightmare, some elaborate, cruel joke. I don't know who you are, he said, trying to keep his voice steady, but you need to leave my daughter alone. A laugh came through the line, familiar and wrong. Your daughter? Michael, sweetheart, you don't have a daughter. We never had children. Don't you remember? We tried for years, but it never happened. That's why we came up here to the cabin, to get away, to heal. You're insane. Emma, stay hidden. Don't listen to this. Dad, what's happening? Emma's voice was plaintive, confused. But then he heard something else. Another voice. Also Emma's voice, saying, Michael, there's no one here. I'm alone in the closet. Who are you talking to? 2 Emmas, 2 voices, slightly different, but both his daughter. Michael's head spun, his hands trembled. This isn't real. This isn't real. Michael, Catherine's voice was closer to the phone now. You need to take your medication. This has happened before, remember? Dr. Vance said this might happen if you stopped taking your pills. The delusions, the hallucinations. Michael, I love you, but you're scaring me. I don't take medication. I'm a doctor. I would know if I needed medication. You were a doctor before the accident, before the head trauma. Michael, please, come back to me. Come back to reality. He heard movement through the phone, a door opening. No, Emma screamed. Stay away from me! Dad, help me! Michael started the car, still with no destination, but unable to sit still. His mind raced through possibilities, each more disturbing than the last. He thought of his days in the ER, of patients who came in absolutely convinced of realities that didn't exist. Schizophrenics who saw demons, Alzheimer's patients who didn't recognize their own families, trauma victims whose brains had constructed elaborate false memories to protect them from terrible truths. Was he one of them now? He pulled out his wallet with shaking hands, keeping the phone on speaker. His driver's license was there, showing his face, his name, Michael James Henderson. Date of birth, June 15th, 1978. That made him 45 years old. That was right, wasn't it? Behind the license, he found a photo. Him and Catherine on their wedding day, 20 years ago. Both smiling, both young, both whole. No Emma. He flipped through the wallet frantically. Photos of Catherine, their dog Max, a picture of him receiving an award at the hospital. But no Emma, no daughter. No. He pulled out his phone, went to his photo gallery with shaking hands. Hundreds of photos, Catherine, himself, sunsets, medical conferences, that trip to Hawaii 5 years ago. No Emma. He went to his contacts. Catherine was there, labeled as My Love with a photo. His mother, his brother, Dave, colleagues, friends. No Emma. The phone on the other line went quiet. Then Emma's voice, just one now. Dad, I think something's wrong. I just looked at my own phone, my camera roll. I have pictures of school, of friends, of our house, but they all look wrong somehow, like they're screenshots, not real photos. And Dad, her voice broke, there are no pictures of you, none at all. Michael's world was collapsing inward. What do you mean? I have pictures labeled Dad, but when I open them, they're just black squares with error messages. And I'm trying to remember your face, and I can't.
I can't quite see it, like it's behind frosted glass. No, this can't be happening. I'm trying to remember what you look like, what Mom looked like, and it's all fuzzy. But I know I called you. I know you're my father. I know it. Catherine's voice came back, gentle, coaxing. Michael, I'm going to call Dr. Vance. Just stay on the line with me. Everything's going to be okay. We're going to get through this episode together, just like we did before. I'm not having an episode. Emma is real. She called me. But even as he said it, he was opening his text messages. The last conversation with Emma should be there. They texted every day, didn't they? The text history with his daughter went back 3 months. That struck him as odd immediately. She'd had a phone for years. Where were the older messages? He scrolled up, reading them. Ordinary conversations. Love you, Dad. Can I go to Melissa's? Need a ride. Don't forget my recital. But something about them felt off. They were too generic. Too much like what someone would expect a father-daughter text exchange to look like, rather than what it actually would be. He clicked on a photo Emma had sent him last week. It showed a smiling teenage girl with dark hair like Catherine's, his own blue eyes. She was standing in front of their house. Except, he zoomed in. The image quality was strange. The girl's face was slightly blurred. And the metadata showed it was a stock photo, downloaded from the internet 3 months ago. Michael pulled over again, this time because he couldn't see through his tears. Emma, he whispered. Emma, are you real? I don't know. The voice on the phone sounded lost, frightened. I don't know anymore. I'm trying to remember being born, growing up, and I can remember stories, memories, but they feel like someone told them to me instead of me living them. Dad, what's happening to us? Part 4. The Truth in the Dark. Michael sat in his car under a streetlight, the phone still pressed to his ear, and forced himself to think like a doctor again, to examine the symptoms, to find the diagnosis. Fact. He had received a call at 2 a.m. from someone identifying as his daughter. Fact. He had no daughter. No photos, no records, nothing but recent text messages and his own fractured memories. Fact. He had heard his dead wife's voice. Fact. The person on the phone also seemed to be experiencing some form of confused identity. He opened his browser and searched his own name. Michael Henderson, Seattle, doctor. The results were there, but they made his blood run cold. Michael Henderson, former ER physician, had been in a severe car accident 3 years ago. The same accident that killed his wife, Catherine. He had sustained traumatic brain injury. After months of rehabilitation, he had retired from medicine. He lived alone now, occasionally volunteering at free clinics, but mostly keeping to himself. One article from 2 years ago was particularly detailed. It mentioned his ongoing struggles with post-traumatic stress disorder, with grief, with something the article called complicated bereavement. It mentioned hallucinations, an incident where he'd called 911 reporting a missing child, a child that didn't exist. His hands were shaking so hard he could barely hold the phone. "Dad?" the voice on the line. "I'm really scared. I looked myself up online. There's a girl named Emma Henderson in Seattle. She's 17, but she's not me. The photos don't match my face. Or I think they don't. I can't quite remember what I actually look like. Emma, I need to ask you something, and I need you to think very carefully. Do you remember being born? Do you remember being a baby, a toddler?" Silence on the line. Then, quietly, "No. My first memory is being about 12 years old, in our house."
Or, "The house, I think, is ours. But now that you mention it, I don't remember anything before that. What's your birthday?" Another long pause. I don't know. Isn't that weird? I should know my own birthday. It should be automatic, but I can't remember it." Michael was crying now, openly, sitting in his car in the middle of the night. "You're not real," he whispered. "You're not real, and I created you because I couldn't accept that Catherine and I never had children, because we tried for so many years, and it never happened, and it broke her heart, and after she died, I couldn't bear the emptiness, so... "No," the voice on the phone was adamant. "No, I'm real. I'm calling you right now. I'm talking to you. How can I not be real?" "I don't know," Michael sobbed. "I don't know how this works. Maybe I'm having a psychotic break. Maybe I took too much of something. Maybe the head trauma damaged my brain worse than anyone thought. But Emma, sweetheart, baby girl, you're not real. You never were. Then who's this in the house with me? The woman with Mom's voice?" Michael wiped his eyes, tried to steady his breathing. That was the question, wasn't it? If Emma wasn't real, if she was just a hallucination, a construct of his damaged mind, then who or what was threatening her? And then it hit him. "What if we're both hallucinating?" he said slowly. "What if you're a part of my delusion, but I'm also a part of yours? That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't it? You said you can't remember what I look like. You have no photos of me. What if there's someone else, someone who's actually in danger, who called someone for help, but both of you are experiencing some kind of shared psychotic break? How is that even possible? Carbon monoxide poisoning can cause hallucinations. So can gas leaks, certain molds, dozens of different toxins. Emma, or whoever you really are, I need you to get out of that house, right now. Don't worry about who's there or who's coming after you. Just get outside, get fresh air. But what if they catch me? If my theory is right, there is no they. There's just you alone in a house, poisoned by something that's making you hallucinate, making you imagine a daughter calling her father, when really you're... He trailed off. Who are you really? Can you think? Before all this, before tonight, who were you? He heard breathing on the line, quick and panicked. Then, "My name is Sarah Mitchell. Oh God, I'm not 17. I'm 34. I came up to this cabin for the weekend because I needed to get away from the city, from my divorce, from everything. But then I started feeling sick and confused, and I don't know why I thought I was someone else, why I thought I was a teenager, why I called a stranger thinking he was my father." The voice was changing as she spoke, becoming older, more mature. "Sarah, listen to me. You need to get out of that house right now. This is Dr. Michael Henderson. You're experiencing severe confusion, probably from environmental poisoning. Can you move?" "I think so. I'm opening the closet door. The house is empty. There's no one here. There never was anyone here, was there?
I don't think so. Can you get to the front door?
Yes, I'm moving. It's so dark. I feel dizzy.
Keep talking to me. Stay on the line.
I'm in the living room. There's a wood stove. I think I tried to light it earlier. But the flue, oh God, the flue was closed. The smoke had nowhere to go. That's why I feel so sick.
Get outside, now. He heard a door opening, the sound of night air, of Sarah gasping and coughing.
I'm outside.
Get as far from the house as you can. Take deep breaths. I'm calling 911 right now.
Wait,
Sarah's voice was clearer now, more coherent.
Who are you? How did I call you? I don't know you.
Michael didn't have an answer. He looked at his phone, at the incoming call that was still active.
The number still showed as unknown. I don't know, he admitted. I think we both needed someone. I needed a daughter to save because I couldn't accept my childlessness. And you needed someone to call, a father figure maybe. And somehow, in our mutual delusions, we found each other. That's impossible. I know, but here we are. Part 5, Morning Light. The sky was beginning to lighten when Michael pulled up to his own house. He'd spent 2 hours on the phone with 911, with paramedics, with Dave, explaining the situation as best he could. Sarah Mitchell had been transported to a hospital in Snoqualmie, treated for carbon monoxide poisoning and smoke inhalation. She would be fine, physically at least. The psychological implications of what had happened would take longer to unpack. Michael sat in his driveway, staring at his house. Catherine's flower garden, now overgrown, the porch swing they'd bought together. Everything exactly as it had been for the past 3 years, except now he saw it clearly. Empty. No teenager's car in the drive. No lights left on upstairs in a daughter's bedroom. No life except his own. His phone rang one last time. Mr. Henderson? This is Sarah Mitchell. The hospital gave me this number. I hope it's okay that I'm calling. It's fine. How are you feeling? Confused, scared. The doctors say I'm lucky. Another hour in that house and I might have died. Carbon monoxide is a silent killer. That's what they told me. A pause. They also told me you saved my life, that you figured out what was happening and got me out. I'm not sure that's true. I was so lost in my own delusions that... But you figured it out. You put the pieces together. You're a doctor, right? You thought like one, even when your mind was playing tricks on you. Michael smiled sadly. I was a doctor. I'm not sure what I am now. I talked to the police. They want to know how I had your number, how I called you. I told them I didn't know.
That I couldn't remember doing it. They looked at my phone and there's no record of the call. It's like it never happened. My phone shows the same thing, no record. So how did we talk? For hours? I don't know, Sarah. I honestly don't know. They sat in silence for a moment, connected by a mystery neither could explain. Can I tell you something strange? Sarah asked finally. When I was in that closet, when I thought I was Emma, your daughter, it felt real. Not just the fear, but the love. I felt loved. I felt like I had a father who would do anything to protect me. And I haven't felt that since my own dad died when I was 8. I think maybe I needed that. Needed to feel that safe again, even if it was just a hallucination. Michael's throat tightened. I needed it too. Catherine and I tried for years to have a baby. It nearly destroyed us, that wanting. After she died, I think part of me couldn't let go of that dream. So I created it. Created you, Emma, a daughter who needed me. Maybe we created each other. Maybe we did. Sarah cleared her throat. The hospital psychiatrist wants me to stay for observation. They're worried about lasting effects from the poisoning, about the delusions. They're probably going to recommend a therapist. That's good. It's important to talk to someone. You should too. Talk to someone, I mean, if you haven't already. I have, off and on, but I think I need to commit to it more seriously, face what I've been running from. That you don't have a daughter? That I don't have a daughter, that my wife is dead, that I'm alone. You're not alone, Sarah said quietly. I mean, I know we don't know each other, but we went through something together, something impossible. That connects us, doesn't it? I suppose it does. I'd like to meet you sometime, in person, in the real world. Would that be weird? Michael thought about it. A 34-year-old woman who'd been his 17-year-old daughter for a few hours in a shared delusion. It should be the weirdest thing in the world, but somehow it wasn't. I'd like that, he said, when you're feeling better, when we've both had time to process this. It's a date then. Well, not a date, just a meeting between two people who saved each other's lives. That sounds about right. After they hung up, Michael finally went into his house. He walked through each room, seeing it as it really was. No signs of Emma anywhere, because she'd never existed. The guest room where he'd imagined her bedroom was just a guest room, sparsely furnished, untouched. In his own room, he found a bottle of pills in his nightstand. Medications he'd been prescribed after the accident, antipsychotics he'd stopped taking because they made him feel numb. He stared at them for a long time. Then he went to his desk and pulled out a journal. His therapist had told him to write things down, to keep track of reality versus delusion. He'd stopped doing it months ago. He started a new entry. Today, I learned that my daughter Emma doesn't exist. She never did. She was a creation of my grief and my damaged mind. For 3 years, I've been texting a phantom, seeing photos that weren't real, living with a ghost. But tonight, she saved someone, or I saved someone, or we saved each other. I'm not sure which is true, and I'm not sure it matters. Catherine wanted children more than anything. I wanted to give them to her. When we couldn't, it felt like failure. After she died, I think I tried to rewrite that failure, to create the family we never had. But Emma was real tonight. Her fear was real. Her need was real. And somehow, impossibly, she connected me to someone else who needed saving, to Sarah. I don't understand it. The doctors will probably say it was coincidence, that I called a random number in my delusion and happened to reach someone who was also in crisis, also hallucinating. That our shared state of confusion led us to construct a narrative that made sense to our compromised minds. Maybe they're right. Or maybe grief and need and love can create connections we don't understand. Maybe in my deepest pain, I reached out across the darkness and found someone reaching back. I don't know. I'll probably never know. But I do know this. It's time to let Emma go. Time to accept that she was never real. Time to live in the world as it actually is, not as I wish it were. It's time to heal. Michael closed the journal and sat in the growing morning light. Outside, the world was waking up. Real people in real houses living real lives. His phone buzzed with a text from Dave. Glad you're okay. Let's talk later. I'm here for you. Another text from his therapist. Sarah Mitchell's doctor contacted me. Emergency session at 2 p.m.? And one more from an unknown number. Thank you for being my dad, even for just one night. Sarah. Michael smiled through his tears and typed back, Thank you for being my daughter. Then he got up, took his medication, and started making coffee. It was going to be a long day. There would be appointments, explanations, difficult conversations about his mental health and what had happened. But he was ready for it now. The phone rang one more time. For just a second, his heart leaped with the irrational hope that it would be Emma, that she would be real after all. But it was just his brother, calling to check in. Michael answered and began the process of returning to reality. Epilogue. 6 months later, Michael met Sarah for coffee in downtown Seattle. She looked healthy, recovered, though there was a wariness in her eyes that hadn't been there in the photos from before her ordeal. How are you? Good.
Better. Therapy is helping. I've been staying away from isolated cabins. She smiled wryly. You? Same. Better. Still taking my medication, still seeing my therapist twice a week. I've been volunteering at the hospital again. It helps, staying busy. They talked for an hour, carefully at first, then more easily, about their lives, their recoveries, the strangeness of having shared such an impossible experience. "Do you ever think about that night?" Sarah asked finally. "About how it happened? I've read everything I can find about shared hallucinations, carbon monoxide poisoning, traumatic brain injury. None of it explains how we called each other." "I think about it every day," Michael admitted. "The police investigated. There's no record of the call on either of our phones. No tower pings, no data. As far as the physical evidence is concerned, we never spoke. And yet we did, for hours." "Some things can't be explained," Sarah said quietly. "I'm learning to accept that." They sat in comfortable silence for a moment. "I have something to tell you," Sarah said. "It might be weird. After what we've been through, I think we've redefined weird." She smiled. "Fair point. Okay, so I've been thinking about your situation, about Emma, and I know she wasn't real, and I know I'm not her, but I was thinking maybe I could be someone. Not a daughter exactly, but family? Found family? I don't have much of my own, and you don't either, and we already kinda saved each other's lives, so—" Michael felt something warm bloom in his chest, something he hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. "I'd like that," he said. "I'd really like that." "Good, because I already told my therapist you're my emergency contact." He laughed, really laughed, for the first time in months. They finished their coffee and made plans to meet again next week. As Michael walked back to his car, he pulled out his phone and looked at his contacts. There was Sarah's number now, with her real photo, a real person in his real life. He scrolled up, and there, still in his contacts, though he knew he should delete it, was Emma's number, the phantom number that had connected them that night. He started to delete it, then stopped. Maybe some ghosts were worth keeping. Not to haunt you, but to remind you of what you'd survived, of the connections you'd made in the darkness, of the impossible things that love could do. He left it there and drove home, to his real house, in his real life, to begin whatever came next. And if sometimes in the quiet hours of the night he thought he heard a phone ring with no caller, or saw a flash of dark hair in his peripheral vision, or remembered the sound of a daughter's voice calling for help, well, those were just echoes. Echoes of pain, yes, but also of love, of the father he'd wanted to be, of the healing that comes from accepting what is while honoring what might have been. Emma wasn't real, but the love that created her was. And in the end, perhaps that was enough.